Welcome to the webinar. This is how to turn 3D CAD downloads into CRM ready leads. And like I said, we are planning a speed webinar today, which is good for me. I'm a downhill webinar runner. I get momentum going, and you can't stop me. So
I'm a downhill roller. I don't do much running.
Okay. So with that, Alessandra can hear us, so I think we're probably okay. So with
Okay,
that,
good.
let's jump in. So introductions, my name is Adam Beck. I'm the Director of Marketing here at CADENAS USA. I'm an industrial marketer. I've worked with industrial companies for nearly 20 years now. And I am really passionate about using content marketing assets and the data that's behind them to make great decisions and move our marketing down the field.
And I'm John Joyce. I'm the Managing Director for Bridger.io, which is an integration platform, and also have something like 20 years of experience in industrial marketing in my past. So I definitely, if you're an industrial marketer, I feel your pain, and we are here to try to help you solve that and give you some solutions that provide some value.
Totally. So with that, let's just jump in real quick, set the scene for the audience a little bit. What is eCatalog 3D Find It? 3D Find It, some of you may have known this as eCatalog Solutions. It's essentially the same product, just new and improved. So what this tool is, it is a content marketing tool for industrial component manufacturers. And I'm going to pop over here to one of our favorite customer sites. This is the Colson Group. The idea here is an engineer's on their site learning about a 4 series caster. Everything they say in the description is interesting to them. Now they want to take the next step. They want to configure the exact caster they want, make some selections, and download that into their design. So I have one. Oh, I always miss the wheel type on here, but it's not super relevant. So anyhow, this is the piece of content. This is the content deliverable that Colson is delivering. It's evergreen, and engineers need this every single day. Taking that a step further, it's not just available on the Colson website. It's also available on the 3D Find It portal, which I am apparently not logged into right now. But this is the same 4 series. This is just a 6-inch with the maroon wheel. This is exposing Colson products to a whole new audience. People that don't know Colson by name, but they know, hey, I need a top plate swivel caster with a 4.5-inch wheel. They find Colson and they download. So that's really setting the scene.
Yeah. Not only that, but this also shows up directly in some CAD software, does it not?
Correct. Yeah, it's inside of the Siemens CAD software, NX, and Solid Edge. It's also inside of the Autodesk Fusion platform, as well as others. So you can get it right inside of your workflow, depending on which tools you use. That's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we hit that. So when someone is happy with the configuration, they complete the registration form to download. They only do this the first time, but this is the intelligence that you're getting on the specific person and their company. Once they log in one time, they stay logged in. So they don't have to fill out this form a whole bunch of times. All future downloads are logged to this username. Now, John, I know you have thoughts about more fields versus less fields.
Yeah, well, as a marketer, one thing I want to point out, just to hit pause here real quick, as a guy with a marketing background, this provides value to the end user who is on your website looking for information. We're all in marketing always trying to find a way to give value to that visitor who is a potential customer, so that every touch point they have provides value. And this CAD is a massive value to some engineer who's designing some subassembly or something and needs an item from your product catalog in order to complete their design. You are saving them a load of time. So they're willing to put their information into a form like this because you're providing them a lot of value. I don't want to miss that point. So this is a win for the end user, So they put their information in here, and yeah, you're getting good qualifying information. The reality is people who download your CAD, first of all, and are willing to put a good amount of data into a form like this are people who definitely see the value in your products and your product information. So the kind of people who go through this are all in a very high quality, I would say, bucket in terms of lead quality. And I think it's important we see here on this page, it says lead capture, because this is where it goes from a marketing win and a customer win to a sales team win and a win for you as a manufacturer, is that this data becomes leads. So these people aren't just random people downloading a file off your website that you never see again. They're people who are very interested in technical details about your product and are willing to put all their details into a form like this and sign up for a system like the CAD system, 3D Find It. And then for you to receive that data is very valuable for you and for your sales team too. So it's a win-win. I just want to point out this is one of those things where it bridges marketing and sales together and provides a win for everybody involved.
Yeah, and just one other thing to add on to that, the True and Global Spec survey that they do almost every year, they've asked what is content that you will fill out a form for, and CAD or PDF data sheets are in the top 3 almost every year, and that's what this does. So thank you for the detail on that. So once they fill out those forms and they're downloading, manufacturers see this data aggregated in their analytics dashboard. They can see who's downloading, what formats they downloaded, the product they're interested in, time of day, how they did this week, this month, this year. This is just fake sample data, but you get the idea. There's a lot of data here, but this is in our analytics dashboard that a user or customer would log into. Manufacturers said, hey, we want that in our other systems, like our CRM and marketing automation. That's where John and the data connector come into play. We have a direct integration with this tool to HubSpot and Salesforce, as well as some other systems.
Yeah, so you don't want to leave all those leads just gathering up in CADENAS' system and never act on them. And you also don't want to have some sort of manual process that really usually some intern ends up doing of downloading this data, and then they move on to some other role or whatever, and months go by and nobody's downloading this data. You can't really act on it. You're not really being efficient in dealing with these opportunities, which each one of these represents an opportunity in your pipeline. So having the connector allows you to create automated workflows and have foolproof really responses to people who are downloading your CAD in order to engage them in the sales process at their point of interest. So one of the main benefits of this system is it automates the process for you and gets that data straight into your CRM, along with all the other data you're dealing with in your CRM, so you can maximize the use of this data in your existing set of tools.
Yep, 100%. So how does it connect? It's a pretty simple process, John.
Yeah, so the connection, a lot of people are wondering, it's a common asked question, how difficult is it to connect all this? With the Salesforce and the HubSpot in particular, because we already have pre-built applications for integration for this, it's basically like a 1, 2, 3 type process. Literally, it takes 5 minutes. You log in to the Bridger.io platform. You click the connect button. That directs you over to your Salesforce, and you see a screen that looks something like this. This is a HubSpot actually version of it.
Yep.
Where it presents you with a, do you authorize this connection into your HubSpot? And you just say, yes, I authorize the connection. And that is it. It is connected at that point. So super easy to connect with the existing pre-built connections. But there is also a lot of flexibility and a lot of other things you can do if you don't have Salesforce or HubSpot. And we'll talk more about some of those other things a little bit later.
Cool. So the goal, like John said, is getting that added value. These are all leads. You have a CRM or a marketing automation system. It seems like these two should meet. So these leads meet your marketing automation specifically or CRM, what can you do? So specifically, some of the things that we recommend to do. So every manufacturer, we do a marketing kickoff. One of the things we say to do is you should have a follow-up from every one of these leads. Make sure they know how to get back in touch with your company. Give them a human's name. We borrowed some samples this is from Brennan and NKK, but this is Kelly down here at the bottom, a phone number, a link back. NKK actually goes a step further. They have the configured part number because these engineers are downloading models all the time. They've got part numbers coming and going. They need to know how to get back in touch with the company. How do I buy? How do I get a hold of a rep? Or where can I get this when I need it?
Yeah, and the data sent into your system is actually very rich, includes a lot of the product information and activity of what they're doing, along with their complete contact information as it exists in their registration that we saw earlier. And so therefore you have a lot of good data that you could automate off of. And, one of the things people will say—
that's our next slide, actually. Yeah. Yeah, perfect transition. Yeah.
Well, real quick, the people will say we can't deal with these leads, but this is a perfect case for automation like this.
Yeah. So business intelligence. This is your passion part of this. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Yeah. So besides getting the contact data, so name, email address, phone number, company name, that kind of information about a downloader, a lead or prospect, you can also see all their activity for as long as the connector is connected on your system. So that means if they go away and then a month later come back and download something, you will see that activity. You can see the type of products that they're downloading from your catalog, including part numbers. So that allows you to use follow up automated, either automated routing to specific salespeople who do with those product lines, or for instance, automate a specific response depending on the kind of product they download. So really the automation capability is up to you and up to your limit of sophistication, but there's a lot of data in there that you can use, from which you can do rich automations and actually gain great insights about what products are popular, what this customer is thinking about, what kind of thing he's building with your products. Oftentimes sales guys look at this and they can say, oh, I know exactly what this kind of guy falls into this bucket because he's from this industry and downloading these products.
Yeah, you can also see, as a marketer, not in the sales role, I like to see, okay, someone downloaded. Oh, now I see a follow-up. I see another email. I see a conversation back and forth about that specific product. And it makes more relevant conversations between sales and the customer. And as a marketer, sometimes in the big brother role in our CRM or marketing automation system, I like seeing that they're being handled and that there's some sort of relevant conversation happening there.
Yeah, and in both the HubSpot and the Salesforce, in the native activity stream of the platform, the CAD shows up as an item, as you can see in this screenshot, along with whatever items might be in there. So you might see somebody downloaded, then they got contacted by sales, then there was a quote. You could see that whole process play out right in the native activity view of your platform.
Yeah, it's huge. All right, next up, lead scoring and qualification. So now that you know who's downloading, what company they come from, how many things they've downloaded, you can start doing things like determining someone as marketing qualified, or even as much as sales qualified if you know more about them from other data inputs. You can also pre-disqualify low quality leads. Anybody that comes through with an EDU, disqualify. Anybody that comes from this domain XYZ, disqualify them, put them off to the side. Any other thoughts on this, John?
Just to reiterate what we said about, you'll know their address, you'll know potentially know their industry, know the products they're interested in. So from all of that, very easy to route them either to the appropriate salesperson or to a distributor or something that might be appropriate.
Perfect. You can also do internal and external routing. So you know their company name, the product they downloaded, and where they're downloading from. So if that is a criteria for an internal assignment, if you have geographical territories, your system can automatically bounce that by zip code or by state or however you prefer. You can also do external routing. So if you have every product line from this product category in this region goes to this distributor, you can set it up to do that. Again, like John said, it's up to your sophistication in your marketing automation tool, but this all becomes possible once the data is there and you see the breadth of information that you're working with.
I know when I was working in industrial marketing, we got a ton of leads that we wouldn't act on as the manufacturer. They were end users of the product, but we would sell that product to them through a distribution channel of some sort. So even if you're sitting there thinking, well, we have CAD on our website and we want people to download, but we really don't care about these leads. What I would say to you is these leads are infinitely valuable to your downstream people, whether they're sales reps or distribution or something like that. And if you as a manufacturer are bringing on reps or distributors and you can say, hey, not only will we make a great deal with you for our products, but as part of the deal, we will feed you leads that are generated by our website and CAD downloads, and we can just do this automatically through our CRM, through the automation, just the regular automation built into your CRM. Those leads, even if you think they don't have value to you, they have value to your downstream, and that is value to you because that makes those guys really happy when you provide anything. Distributors, in my experience, if you do anything for them, they are so happy. And even the littlest thing can differentiate you from other manufacturers who are doing nothing. So I would say if you have that in your head, oh, we don't need these leads. They're
Somebody
still
does.
valuable to somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Advanced reporting. So again, like you're saying on the business intelligence side of things, even if you're not using these as a lead to call and follow up on, seeing the aggregate downloads of a product line or a category can give you forecasting. It can also give you the ROI on the tool and how well it's performing or how well your SEO is performing by conversion. There's a lot of information to be gleaned from this, especially when you start breaking it down into your dashboard and into your reporting and thinking about who, when, and where, and what they're doing.
Yep, good stuff.
So what is new and upcoming with this? There's a couple exciting advancements that we're working on. So which systems would you like us to connect to? This is where we want to hear from the audience. What CRM are you in? What marketing automation platform are you in? We do have ways to connect to others that are not HubSpot and Salesforce, but we want to hear from the audience. What are the platforms that you're excited about? Where should you see this data, or where would you like to see this data soonest?
Yeah, so along with the standard Salesforce and HubSpot connections, we're always looking for other opportunities that customers are using XYZ CRM, and your input is super valuable in helping us make decisions about what direction we're going to go in next and what platform I guess we would invest in terms of making a rich integration. But there is also some kind of simplified integration options too, which may not be as rich, but allow the data to come into pretty much almost any CRM with a little work on your side. So there's definitely options we can talk about. So we'd love to get your feedback. And at any time, if you want to talk about what options might exist for you out there, just let Adam know or your CADENAS salesperson know, and they'll be glad to talk to you about it. Are we getting any responses out there?
Not yet, but we will see. The next one is the no CRM connection, because we have heard from many manufacturers, hey, we don't have a CRM yet, or we don't have one that we want to have all this data in yet necessarily. So we're working on a way to possibly have an automated email follow-up without sending it to your marketing automation. That would say, hey, Mr. Engineer, thank you for downloading an ABC123. Here's the links back to manufacturer X's website. You can also do that to send an internal email to trigger someone for the beginning of a manual process. If this is something that manufacturers we want to hear from you if this interests you, because we'll bump it up the priority list.
Yeah, mostly I've heard from kind of two different kinds of manufacturers who would be interested in this. Either they just don't have a CRM, so they don't have anything to plug it into, but they want some sort of automated follow-up, or they have a CRM and they really don't want the leads coming in. They just want to keep things separate. Sometimes, depending on how large the company is, even just getting approval to connect things into your CRM can be a major headache. And they may say, oh, we want an automation, but we don't really want to go through all this work of doing the integration. If you fall into either of those categories, but you're still interested in having automation so that you're not just, these leads aren't just wasted, let us know, because we would be willing to support this kind of automated email follow-up ourselves. So if that's interesting to you, let us know about it.
Cool. And we are we are 1 minute over, but I think everybody will understand. Next time.
We're almost done. Yeah.
Yeah. Questions. This doesn't count in the main time. So if there's any questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we do have a couple that are frequently asked questions that we might get into. I don't see any yet. So custom fields. I have a CRM with custom fields for customization. Can you handle it?
Yeah. So customization is an often requested thing. People who are using their CRM and already have processes might want the data to flow into specific slots in their setup. And that's totally possible. Even custom objects and things like that is completely doable. So if you have a scenario where you've already built some sort of a sales machine in your Salesforce for tracking other prospects, and you want us to jack this data into that, but it's not like standard, that's okay. We can still do it and have done several like that. So totally can be customized.
Filtering or blacklists. I have regions I don't want to sell to. I have domains I don't want to sell to. I have whatever I want to filter out. Can we do that?
Yep, this is another big one. Comes up all the time. Our catalog is all over the world, but we only want leads from North America. Absolutely doable. We can filter geographically, and we can also filter out by any portion of the domain name. So if you wanted to filter out .edu, domain name and the email address, if you want to filter out anybody with a .edu email or a .ru or gmail.com or something like that, you can also filter out domains or parts of domains and prevent, just keep the best quality leads coming into your system.
Yeah, we can also, you can, I should say, also use your, I know specifically in HubSpot, you pay by the contact that's in there. You have a bucket that's called non-marketing contacts. You can have a workflow that triggers as soon as it comes in to say, hey, this came from this region or this domain, kick them automatically into the non-marketing contacts. Then you're not paying for those anyway. So it's kind of like they're not really in your system while they are being in your system.
Yeah, you would still be able to track activity on them. Actually, they would still exist and track activity, but you're not paying for it unless you're reaching out to them. So yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. GDPR compliance. Is this GDPR compliant?
It is. So if that's an issue for you, we have data center in Frankfurt, where we can set you up to be entirely EU based, and it is GDPR compliant. CADENAS follows all the GDP rules on the acquisition of the customer data, and then the storage and transfer of the data into your system is also completely GDPR compliant. And even you following up, and this is a disclaimer, we're not GDPR lawyers and not giving official advice, but from everybody who we have ever worked with and has talked to about this, following up on those transactions, basically, which is what they are, is within the scope, is acceptable within the scope of GDPR. So you can.
It's a relevant conversation to an action that they took about a product.
Exactly. So you can even follow up with them. So all of this is GDPR kosher.
Love it. The last one that we heard, security. Do you interact with my data and my CRM? How secure is this?
Yep, some people have security questions. First of all, with the OAuth connection process that I briefly discussed earlier, that puts the power of the connection in your hands, so you have control over it. You could turn it off if you want. Second of all, we don't take any data out of your system, so there's no data coming out, just data coming in. The only data coming out is contact ID numbers, so that we can, use that same ID to append the data onto the same contact, or to prevent creating duplicate contacts. So none of the other data about your contact ever leaves your system. No other data at all actually ever leaves your system, except for matching contact IDs to contacts that we already have their data. So your information is safe. We never take it out, and we don't access any of it except the little pieces that are necessary to find the contacts and match them up.
Perfect. So next step, if someone has a CRM or marketing automation system they want to see us connect to, reply or shoot us an email. You have all our info in the chats and everywhere it'll be. If they want to connect us, if they're already a CADENAS customer and they want to connect us to our system, just contact your CADENAS rep or myself, adam.beck@partsolutions.com, and we'll get you hooked up.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate before we sign off that, this is a great alignment of technology and sales and marketing coming together to provide value for the end user who gets the CAD, as well as your marketing and sales team that gets the business intelligence and actionable leads. So I think it's something I know that as working with manufacturers, I have gotten a ton of awesome value out of this combo from the manufacturer's side of the desk. And now that I'm on this side, I would love to help any of you guys to realize that same value in your systems for you and for your end users as well. Just reach out.
We really appreciate your help on this. Yeah, it's an awesome tool, and everybody that's has it so far is totally excited about it. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. See you at the next one.
Yep, thanks.